Well, following the Lakers putting out a team and starting lineup that looked like this, yeah, not too good, including Dalton Knecht, Markieff Morris, Jackson Hayes, Gabe Vincent, and Jordan Goodwin, and then a non-active list that included Luka Doncic, Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, Maxi Kleber, Christian Koloko, Austin Reeves, and Jared Vanderbilt. And wow, I can't take a breath after that one. They should be more healthy for their game on Saturday night and might even get back some key players to that game too. And according to JJ Redick, they're quote-unquote hopeful that they will get back LeBron James and likely Rui Hachimura as well. And here's what he had to say about it, or rather hint about it, with a smile, before their game last night.
The understanding that Rui and LeBron are day-to-day, they've been day-to-day now for 5 day-to-days, I think in total. You guys have a game Saturday. Is there a realistic chance that either of them play on Saturday?
Hopeful.
Well, I definitely wouldn't call that a confirmation here, but with the smile, with the hopeful hint, and kind of the indication that he might play, probably a little bit optimistic here, and saying that he's been day-to-day for about a week now. Other reports saying that they're optimistic that they'll get back LeBron and Rui Hachimura before the week ends, and well, we're about to have the weekend here. I think it's fairly likely that at least one of them play tomorrow night. I mean, probably Rui Hachimura more likely, but with LeBron warming up before their game last night, going through a pretty tough and intense workout it looked like, and trying to ramp up and get back on the court, I wouldn't be shocked if they both play, and that would definitely benefit their team as well. Getting everyone back healthy, obviously Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves will likely play, simply held out for rest reasoning the other night, and that's the same thing for guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and the rest of that inactive list, pretty much healthy, and they're finally trending in the right direction in regard to their health outlook. And then for a little more indication for why LeBron might play, if not tomorrow night, probably the game after that, well, simply put, he's running out of time to qualify for NBA awards here, which he definitely will be up for. As of right now, he's played in 58 games, and to qualify for awards, you gotta play in at least 65. So that right there means that he's gotta play in at least 7 more to qualify. And with them currently having only 13 left, 2 of which are back-to-back, so he likely won't play in at least 2 of them, that means that he's got only about 10 to 11 left to qualify. So playing in 7 out of 10 definitely is a little bit of a challenge here for him. If he doesn't play their game tomorrow night, that's down to 9 or 10, so he's pretty much got to play nearly every game, apart from the back-to-backs, after that point. And again, with him very likely to be selected for some major NBA awards here, like probably first team All-NBA, second team at the bare minimum, probably a top 5 to top 8 MVP candidate, and no, I'm not joking about that, he's really been that good, especially following the trade deadline. Yeah, the guy definitely does want to play and definitely does want to qualify for them. And with that in mind here, I would be kind of shocked if he doesn't play tomorrow night. After all, it is their final home game for quite some time now. The next time they come back home is March 31st, that being against the Rockets, so that's a pretty long timeline between now and then. Probably wants to play one home game before their road trip. Wouldn't doubt if he does play one game on the road trip coming up here, either on Monday night in Orlando or on Wednesday night in Indiana, but probably not both of them in my opinion. Likely does want to play one game before they go on the road trip, and I feel like that's gotta be for their game tomorrow night. Now again, definitely not confirming that or saying that has been confirmed. It hasn't, unfortunately, but in my opinion, it does appear to be trending in that direction, both from what we've heard about, from what we know about the NBA awards, and what LeBron needs to qualify for them. And with him simply being on the court and knowing the guy that LeBron is and definitely eager to get back on the court. But with that being said, how about Rui Hachimura? Well, the same thing with him, nothing's been confirmed quite yet, but there have been reports saying that he's closer to a return than LeBron, and if LeBron's very close to a return himself, that likely means that Hachimura is even more likely to play for their game tomorrow night, if not at the very beginning of their road trip. And not purely by speculation, but from an early report this week by Shams Charania, saying that the Lakers are quote-unquote optimistic that Rui Hachimura will return within a week. And with that coming at the early part of this week, being on March 16th, that likely means that he will play by the end of this week. I mean, tomorrow is March 22nd, so that's about a week apart, likely hinting that Rui Hachimura will be back. And well, that's a big thing for their team, not only from the three-point shooting, the offensive ability, but actually the defense and what it does for their rotation. After all, we've talked a lot about their center rotation and what they don't have behind Jackson Hayes. They've tried out guys like Alex Len, Trey Jemison, Christian Koloko, none of which have brought any long-term success to their team and definitely not been the answer for their backup center. But prior to Hachimura getting hurt, he kind of was their backup center. And believe it or not, it was working out pretty well for them. The combination of Rui Hachimura at the 5 with then a bigger wing lineup around him, including either LeBron James and or Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt with Luka Doncic at the guard spot, that's a pretty big lineup even for a quote-unquote small ball lineup. I mean, combinations of wing players from 6'7" to 6'9" with multiple 7-foot wingspans is a very versatile combination, and it was working out pretty well for them, even against a team like the Denver Nuggets. I mean, look back to that game and what they did against Nikola Jokic with a combination of big wing players, often having Rui Hachimura defend Jokic, obviously not individually, but directly taking on that matchup, then with a double team or blitz coming behind him, or at the bare minimum a shadow coverage, or then a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith taking on that matchup. They've shown what they can do and even be a top 5 and legitimate number 1 defense with that kind of combination. So in my opinion, that's actually the biggest part of Hachimura coming back, letting them see more about their small ball lineups, and if they can use it in every matchup, not only some matchups but pretty much every matchup, and kind of make that their solution to their backup center spot. That way they only have to waive one player, likely being Cam Reddish, and obviously to sign Jordan Goodwin. That one's pretty much a lock in my opinion and should be a lock for them, but then they don't have to waive another player after that. Whether it be Alex Len or whoever it might be, they don't have to do that. They can simply rely on Jackson Hayes and then their combination of small ball behind him. I think that would be the ideal starting point for them, not having to change up or find a different player on the open market, or maybe try to find their backup center with Christian Koloko or Trey Jemison. I don't think that will really work for them. I actually think the much more reliable option for them is their small ball lineup option. And no, some people don't like to hear that, but if you've actually watched them play and with a healthy combination of Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and Rui Hachimura, it's worked out pretty well for them, and you really can't deny that if you've been watching their defense when healthy. After all, even without many of them healthy, they have been a top 2 defense dating all the way back to January 15, and we're talking about a 30-game sample and nearly half the season at this point. So yeah, they definitely can do it, whether you're talking about their normal lineup with Jackson Hayes, or then their backup center combination with a combination of Rui Hachimura, Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, or LeBron. It has worked for them and probably is their most reliable option, and that's why I'm so excited to get Rui Hachimura back to see more of it. Apart from that though, and the potential return of LeBron and Hachimura, just to confirm here, no, it's not a long-term injury to Luka Doncic, Dorian Finney-Smith, Austin Reeves, or Jared Vanderbilt. They were simply held out for rest purposes and kind of punting the game last night to get everyone healthy again. Reddit kind of talked about that, kind of hinting that it's not a long-term thing for them. Obviously they didn't want to say it outright or they might end up being fined, but he did confirm that in addition to the Hachimura and LeBron update last night.
JJ, I apologize if this was asked before I got here, but is there any concern that any of these things like Vando's groin injury, Austin's ankle injury, that there's any long-term concern with any of these?
I mean, they're all active injuries and they're all things that we've had to kind of navigate throughout the last 7 to 10 days for all these guys. I think everybody is day to day, including LeBron and Rui. But we knew post All-Star break that this first 3-4 weeks was going to be tough. It's not going to get any easier. But this has been a very difficult stretch just in terms of the schedule, and our guys have competed and played through a lot of stuff, and that's just the reality of where we're at today. Is that we've got to continue to manage this stretch.
But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Lakers' health outlook when they might get LeBron and or Hachimura back? Will it be tomorrow night or later than that? And simply about the team's health outlook and what they might look when completely healthy again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.